everyone. Welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter Basics of English Language. Now, this is part 2 of the same chapter that we had started earlier. Okay, so in this session, as I told you in our earlier session, that we have various topics of basics of English language. In this session, we are going to discuss one very important part of basics of English language, and that is sentence structure. Well, this part we have already started in our earlier session, but in this session, I'm going to tell you something very important about sentence structure. In our earlier session, I gave you an idea about the structure of the sentence, in which first we have the subject and then the verb and then the object. And I told you the meaning of subject and object as well in the last session. But in this session, we are going to discuss something very, very important about a sentence. For example, if we write any kind of sentence, first we have the subject, and that subject is also made of some parts of a speech. Verb is itself a part of a speech, and after that, when we could talk about object is also made of some parts of a speech. Okay. Now, suppose there is another thing, for example, if it contains any adjective, if it has any subject complement, okay, so that there we can have different types of parts of a speech. So, all these structures which unite to make a sentence, those we are going to discuss in this session. Okay. So first of all, this you can see as the parts of sentence. Now, parts of sentence basically means the parts that are in the sentence. Okay. For example, if we write any sentence, suppose I say that Ravi is a good boy. Suppose this is a sentence. Ravi is a good student. Suppose this is a sentence. Okay. Now, in this sentence, you can see that there are few words like Ravi is a good student. So, these are actually the parts of the sentence, because all these words, it means each and every word that unite to make a sentence. All these words, each and every word is known as a part. Okay, so each and every word is a part. So, this is also the part of the sentence. This is also the part of the sentence. This is also the part of sentence. This good is also the part of sentence, or this student also forms the part of a sentence. Okay, so these each every word, they make the sentence, or they make the parts of the sentence. Now, this each and every part is has its own name. For example, this Ravi is a noun. Okay, because this means that this makes the subject of the sentence. Okay, is actually a verb, and verb also is of various types, like auxiliary verb, main verb. Okay, a is an article which is not known as the part of a speech, but it is actually the part of adjectives. Okay, so article. After this, good is an adjective, of course, which tells us the quality of a noun or pronoun. And after that, student is again a noun. Okay, so all these are actually the parts of the sentence, and these parts are made of something. Okay, or these parts do have some name. Okay, which make them unique. Now, we will discuss about all these parts. It means we will discuss all these parts, that how they are made, or which part of a speech, which parts of a speech are there which can make a sentence. Okay. Now, here, first of all, in a part of sentence, we have a subject. So, the basic structure of the sentence is subject plus verb. Okay, first we have subject, then we have verb, and then we have object. Okay, so this is the basic structure of the sentence. So, we'll discuss this one by one. Okay, so this subject can be either made of a noun or pronoun. As I told you before as well, that the subject is a person who is doing the action, or who is performing the action. Also, subject can be the one whom we are talking about. So, the person whom we are talking about is known as subject, or the person who performs any action, that is known as subject. After that, we have verb. Verb means any action. However, verb can be defined in a wide category, or it can be you can say it can be classified on various bases. Verb is also of various types, or you can say verb, this action is a limited definition of verb. Verb can be defined in a long manner, but that we will discuss later on. Now, object is something which replies to the question what and whom. In our last session, I discussed this with you in detail, any question that replies to the question what or whom is known as object. Okay, you cannot say that every word which is written in the last of the sentence or in the end of the sentence is the object of that sentence. Why, sir? Because object can only be made of that particular word which replies to the question either what or whom. Otherwise, it will not an object. If it replies to the question of something else, it will not an object. Only the word is called object if it replies to the question what or whom. Now, what is it? Let us see this with some examples or with the definitions. So, first of all, we'll read this subject. The subject is the main noun or pronoun in a sentence that performs the action. For example, if I say I study, so who does this work of studying? I. So, I will be the subject. Or is being described, it means whom we are talking about. For example, if I say Pankaj is a good boy, so here I'm talking about the person Pankaj. So Pankaj is the subject of the sentence. Okay. Now, it was the sentence is about. It means a subject is actually the person whom we are talking about. For example, she is studying for the exam. So, in this sentence, she is the subject. Why, sir? Because here I'm talking about she, that she is studying. So, this work is studying, and this work is done by who is doing this work, who is performing this action? Of course, she. So, she is the subject. So, whosoever does the action, whosoever performs the action is known as the subject, or a person whom we are talking about is known as the subject. Okay. If I say Ravi is an intelligent boy, so here I'm talking about the person Ravi. So Ravi is the subject. Okay. If I say uh, Tina is a teacher, so here I'm talking about Tina. So Tina is a subject. Okay. Now after that we have a word that is verb. The verb is the action word in a sentence that shows what the subject is doing or a state in it. Now, as I told you, that verb can be further divided or further defined in a long manner. So, what is actually verb? We are going to discuss it now. Whenever we talk about a verb, we always call that any action that takes place is known as verb. But verb is more than that. How? Any word that describes any word that describes action. First of all, action. After that, state or being. It means the existence of someone. Okay, state or being. Or if it shows the position. Okay, if it describes the position, that word is known as verb. So, if any word, if it describes the action, state, being, or position, it is known as verb. How? Let me tell you with some examples. Okay, let us take some examples. If I say Ravi teaches, Ravi teaches maths. Okay, if I say the sentence, now here which word is being going on? Teaches, and this is action. Okay, this is action, and who is performing this action? Ravi. So Ravi is the subject and this verb is action. Why so? Because this is an action. Okay, you can see it clearly. If I say Ravi is a teacher, Ravi is a teacher. Now here, if I say Ravi is a teacher, it means this is, you know well that this is a verb over here. Okay, so this is a verb. Now here is not any action that is taking place. In fact, here by this is, I'm saying that Ravi is a teacher. It means I'm showing the state and being of Ravi. That who is Ravi? Ravi is a teacher. So I'm showing you the existence of Ravi, that Ravi is a teacher. So what is actually the personality of Ravi? What is actually the being of Ravi? Who is Ravi? So this word Ravi is actually a teacher, and this person Ravi is a teacher, and this state, his state or his being is teacher. Okay, so this is indicated by the word is, that he is there. Okay, so this is actually showing us the state or being of a person. Okay, it is showing the state or being of a person. Now if I said Ravi is teaching, Ravi is teaching, Ravi is teaching right now. Okay, now if you see this sentence, is this is showing us the existence of Ravi in some case? No, it is not showing the state of being. In fact, here teaching is a verb, it means action. Okay, but this is, it's not showing the state being, but it is used as the helping verb. Okay, it means where this is or any form of be, if it is showing the state of being of a person, if it means if it is replying to the question who is Ravi or who is that person, okay, who, which is replying to that question who, so there that verb will show, that their verb will show the state or being of that person. But if it is not replying to that question who, it means that is or the be form is the helping verb in that sentence. Okay, so here teaching is the main verb, that is action, whereas is the helping verb, whereas in this sentence is the main verb, which is showing us the state of being of a person. Now, if I say Ravi has a BMW car. Okay, Ravi has a BMW. Now, if I say Ravi has a BMW car, now here, suppose not BMW, I'm saying only a car. Okay, Ravi has a car. If I say Ravi has a car, now this car belongs to Ravi. So we are showing over here that this car is possessed or owned by Ravi. So this has is showing the possession of Ravi, that Ravi owns this car or Ravi possesses this car. Okay, so this has is showing the possession. Okay, but if I say Ravi has Ravi has taught this chapter. Now here, is this has word showing the possession of Ravi? No. Here taught is the action which is supported by has, which is the helping verb. So here has is the helping verb. It means if a sentence contains an action and before that we are using any verb, that is known as helping verb, but because it is supporting the action verb. But if it is only showing about sorry, if it is telling the position of someone, if it is telling the state being of someone, that means that be form or that have form is actually showing the position or state being of a person. Okay, now if you go back to this one, this action is basically denoted by the word to, whereas the state being is by be form, any form of be, like is, are, am, was, were. Okay, been, being, and possession is basically shown by have word. Okay, now let us have some more examples to clear these to clear this confusion. Okay, suppose there is a sentence, I do yoga every day. I do yoga every day. Okay, and if I say I do not go to gym. I do not go to gym. So I have used the same word do in both the sentences. But if you see the first sentence, you can see that I am saying I do yoga. It means I do the exercise, I perform this yoga. Okay, so this do is an action over here. And if it is action, of course, this is the main verb. So this do, which we consider to be a helping verb, is not an helping verb, not a helping verb over here. In fact, this is the main verb over here because it is showing me the action. But if I say I do not go to gym, so this go is main verb and this do is just supporting this. Okay, to show that the sentence is negative. So thus, just for this not word, I have used this do because I cannot use not alone. So this do is helping verb over here. Okay, so do in the first sentence is the main verb, whereas in the second sentence it is the helping verb. Now if I say she has a laptop. Okay, she has a laptop. Now if I say she has completed her work. She has completed her work. Okay, now if you see both the sentences again, in the first sentence has shows the possession, that she owns this less laptop. So this has is actually the action, which is the main verb, whereas in another sentence, in the second sentence, this has is just helping verb, which is supporting the action, that is completed. So this completed is the main verb, which is the action actually, and has is the supporting or the helping verb. If I say she is a doctor, she's a doctor. So in this sentence, this is showing the state being of this person. So this is the main verb which shows the state of being. Whereas if I say she is going to clinic. She is going to clinic. Now in this sentence, this going is the main verb which is the action, and this is actually the helping verb which is just supporting this going word. Okay, so here you can see all the differences between the helping verb and the main verb. So verb is just not only this thing, that is, it does not only show the action but also show what the subject is doing. It means action. And if it is showing the state or being, or the position. Okay, so if any word shows the action, state, being, or the position of someone, that word is known as verb. So if any word describes as the action, state, being, or position, that is known as verb. Okay, now what is auxiliary verb, what is main verb, that we are going to elaborate in the chapter of verb only. Now example, she's studying for the exam. So this is studying is the verb. Okay, so because this is an action. Okay, and is helping verb over here. Now the last part, object. The object is the noun or pronoun that receives the action of the verb. So we know well that the subject as well as object, they both can be made of either subject or either noun or pronoun. But we have to look for that if the subject and if the noun and pronoun, if they are performing the action, they are subject, and if they are receiving the action, they are object. It means if anything receives the action, that is known as object. It answers the question what or whom. So I told you earlier as well, any word which replies to the question what or whom is known as object. For example, she is studying for the exam. Okay, now let us take some more examples. If I say Ravi teaches. Ravi teaches. Now I am saying Ravi teaches. Of course, Ravi is the subject and teaches is the verb. Now you may ask me that what does Ravi teach? I say Ravi teaches Hindi. Okay, I say Ravi teaches Hindi. So this Hindi is actually the subject which is taught by Ravi. So this Hindi is the object. Why so? Because it is replying to the question what? What does Ravi teach? Now if I say Ravi teaches. Now you may ask me that whom does Ravi teach? I say Ravi teaches uh, the students of class 10th. The students of class 10th. Okay, he teaches the student of class 10th. Now here if you see this one, so here you are getting the reply from this word, the students of class 10th. So this is replying to the question whom. These are the reply to the question whom. So these are again the objects. Okay, if I say Ravi goes to DPS school. Ravi goes to DPS school. Now where does Ravi go? Where does Ravi go? So this where, any word which replies to the question where, is it an object? No, not at all. That means this DPS school is not an object. This actually the sentence is correct, but this is not an object. Okay, this is not an object. The word is correct. Okay, however, the word is correct, but it is not the object. Well, let me write this again, because it is replying to the question where to DPS school, but this DPS school is not the object. Okay, this DPS school is not the object. Why so? Because it is replying to the question where, not what or whom. If any word replies to the question what or whom, it is an object. Otherwise, it is not an object. For example, if I say, uh, I like DPS school. I like DPS school. Okay, so in this sentence, I can say I like. You may ask what, and I'm replying to your question that I like DPS school. So this DPS school is actually replying to the question what. Then it is an object. But if I say Ravi goes to DPS school, it is replying to the question where. So it is not an object. So you can see the same word. At one place it is an object, whereas at the other place it is not an object. Why so? Just only by the question, it is different in the part of a speech as well. Okay, if any word replies to the question where, it is not an object, and if it is replying to the question what and whom, it is an object. Okay, so here we have discussed these three things: subject, verb, and object. Now we'll discuss some more parts of sentence. First of all, we'll discuss about adjective. Adjective is a word which qualifies noun or pronoun. An adjective is a word that describes or modifies a noun or pronoun, providing more information about its qualities or characteristics. For example, if I say she's studying for the important exam, so here exam is a noun, and what kind of exam is it? It is important exam. So this important is an adjective, whereas this exam is a noun. Okay. Now, if you say you are a good person or you are a good boy, so obviously if I say you are a good boy, so boy is a noun, and how what kind of boy are you? That is good. So good is good shows your quality. That is why this good is an adjective. Now if I say you all are intelligent, here I have complimented you with the word intelligent. To all my students are very intelligent. So this intelligent word is just for my students. So this intelligent is actually an adjective. Okay. Now uh, if I say star kid, so I'm talking about a kid who is a star kid. So star is an adjective over there. If I say red t-shirt, okay, if I talk about a red t-shirt, so red is a red shows the color of that t-shirt. T-shirt is a noun, so red is an adjective. Okay, so if any word, it anyhow qualifies noun, if it describes noun, if it describes the quality, color, material, size, shape, anyhow origin, if it is anyhow qualifying any noun or pronoun, that word is known as adjective. Okay, now we'll talk about another more important word, that is adverb. Now this is again a very important word. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. This adverb, it can qualify three different parts of a speech. First of all, it qualifies the verb, which is actual function of adverb, because adverb is a word which adds something to a verb. Okay, another part, it qualifies an adjective, and it qualifies other adverbs as well. Okay, so this word is actually the reply of the question how, when, and where. Okay, so whenever we ask how, when, where, these questions, the reply to these questions is actually given by the word adverb. Okay, now let me give you some examples. For example, if I say she teaches she teaches well. Now, how does she teach? She teaches well. So this well is an adverb because it is replying to the question verb. Okay, so because it is replying to the question how, and this well is qualifying verb, which is teaches. So how does she teach? She teaches very well. So this well is an adverb. Okay, if I say you are an intelligent student, an intelligent, now let me write intelligent student. Okay, that my students are intelligent, so I can say I have intelligent students. Okay, I have intelligent students. So we know well that because of this students sorry you can analyze from this that students are nouns, and how what kind of students do I have? Intelligent. So this intelligent is adjective which is qualifying this noun, that is the students. Now if I say I do not have intelligent students only, they are very intelligent in fact. So if I say very intelligent students, I have very intelligent students. So this word very is qualifying the word intelligent, and intelligent is an adjective. Therefore this very is an adverb, and this adverb is qualifying an adjective. Okay, now in the above question where I said she teaches well, if I say she teaches very well, okay, so this very is qualifying the word well because I'm talking about very well. Okay, so this very is again an adverb which is qualifying the adverb only. Okay, so this word adverb, it can qualify an adjective, a verb, and another adverb. Okay, So it replies to the question how, when, where. For example, he went to Patna. So where did he go? He went to Patna. So Patna is an adverb over there. Why so? Because it is replying to the question where. Okay. He went to Patna yesterday. So when did he go to Patna? He went to Patna yesterday. So yesterday is an adverb because that is telling us the time of action. Okay. Or an extent to the action is performed. Okay. Extent means how much. For example, how many times did you uh, how many times did you solve this question? So how many times, this is actually the number of time you did this action. Okay. Example, she is studying hard for the important exam. So she is studying is verb, and hard is an uh, adverb over here, which is qualifying to the word studying, which is a verb. Preposition. A preposition is a word that shows the relationship between the noun or pronoun and other words in a sentence. It often locates direction, location, or position, time. Okay, for example, she is studying for the important exam. So this for is the preposition. She is going to Patna. So to is showing the direction of her destination. So to is actually the preposition. She is sitting on the chair. So this on is indicating her position on the chair. So this on is the preposition. Okay. Now, conjunction. Conjunction is a word that connects words, phrases, or clauses in a sentence. Now, whenever we join two or more words together, two or more sentences together, two or more clauses together, or two or more sentences, phrases together, any word which connects these two or more of anything, this word is known as conjunction. For example, if I say you and I, so you and I are connected with the word and, so and is a conjunction. Okay, so that connects two things together or two or more things together, that is known as conjunction, helping to create compound or complex sentences. So these conjunctions, they help us out in creating compound as well as complex sentences. Interjection. Okay, let us see an example of conjunction. She's studying for the important exam, and he is and she's feeling confident. So both of these sentences are connected with the word and, thus and is the conjunction. Okay. Now, interjection. An interjection is a word or phrase used to express a strong emotions, feelings, or reactions. So whatever our reactions are, for example, if you are going anywhere, and all of a sudden you see or you come across a snake, what will you say? Oh my god. Or maybe possible you will be speechless over there. Okay, so this reaction or this emotion or the words which come out of your mind or which come out of your mouth without any thinking, it means you said that without thinking, without even thinking what you want to say. That is known as interjection. Okay, the words which express your emotions. Okay. For example, if I'm going anywhere, and all of a sudden I you can say I struck with something. For example, my foot is struck with the wall. Okay, or I struck just in the wall. Okay, so that means I just you can say I was hit by the wall. Okay, all of a sudden I'll say ouch, or oh no. Okay, so these type of expressions, these are actually interjections. Now if you see something surprising, you say wow. So that wow is an expression that comes from your mouth itself without any thinking. So that is known as interjection. For example, wow, she did well in the exam. Now if someone finds that he has qualified in the exam or he has scored very well in the exam, he can say hooray. And if you can see, whenever you watch any match, okay, for example, there is a World Cup match of India and any other team. Now, if India wins, obviously all the audience, in fact, you would scream or you would shout that hooray, we won the match in this manner. This can be the manner. So this is actually the expression which you are showing, the word which is showing your emotion. That is known as interjection. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Now, here we'll discuss some types of sentences. So, we may have some types of sentences that we are going to discuss right now. First, we have declarative sentences. Declarative sentences make statements or convey information They end with a period means full stop. Okay, full stop means, as you can see over here, this is the full stop. Okay, the sun rises in the east, so this is a full stop. Also, if a word describes the fact or something which is truth, that is called universal truth. Okay, now here if I say the sun rises in the east, this is just a statement which is when you are providing some information to another person. Now a declarative sentence can be either affirmative or negative. Affirmative means which is in the basic structure in which we do not have any negative word like not or no. Okay, but if any word, any sentence contains the negation word, that is not, no, never, that type of sentence is known as negative sentence. Okay, um, for example, Ravi goes to school. This is a declarative statement or affirmative sentence. But if I say Ravi does not go to school, that is known as negative sentence. Now, interrogative sentence means question sentence. Interrogative sentences ask questions and end with a question mark. Of course, if it is a question, it will end with a question mark. Are you coming to the party tonight? So this is an interrogative sentence in which you can see that somebody is asking to you whether you are coming to the party or not. Okay, now if I say what is your name, so this is also a question or interrogative sentence which is beginning with the question word, and the question word is what. Okay, now, imperative sentences. Imperative sentences give commands, instructions, or requests. They often end with a period or an exclamation mark. For example, please pass me the salt. Another example is close the door. So you can see that this is when we make some request, when we give some order. These type of sentences, they are known as imperative sentences. Now, exclamatory sentences express strong emotions or feelings. Those contain interjections as well. They end with an exclamation mark. Exclamation mark is this. Okay. So, what a beautiful sunset. Now, you can see this is the exclamation mark after this sentence. Simple sentence. Simple sentence consists of one independent clause, subject plus verb, and express a complete thought. That is, she sings beautifully. So, this is known as simple sentence. Compound sentence, where we join two sentences together but both the sentence are independent individually. Okay, so you can say that we join two complete sentences with coordinate conjunction. If we are joining two sentences together with a coordinate conjunction, that is known as compound sentence. Compound sentences contain two or more independent clauses. Now this thing is very very important in this, that both the clauses, they both are independent and they both can stand alone. Clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction and, but, or, nor, for, so, yet, or a semicolon. I like to read and my sister enjoys painting. Okay. Now, complex sentences. Complex sentences have one independent clause and at least one dependent clause, subordinate clause. Okay, so one is the subordinate clause and another is the complex sentence. Where one sentence depends on another, that is known as subordinate clause. That cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. Example: after I finished my work, I went for a walk. Compound complex sentences. Compound complex sentences combine elements of compound and complex sentences with at least two or independent clauses and or one or more dependent clauses. Example: she studied hard for the exam, but she still didn't score as well as she had hoped. As well as means as she hoped. Okay, in the you can say as good as. Okay, because she didn't manage her time effectively. Now this well over here is actually the good adverb of good. Okay, it is the adverb of good. Now all this is about basics of English language that we have discussed till now. So basics of English language contains all these parts which are actually very important for us to know to solve the other parts of the uh, grammar. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you. Now if you want to learn various concepts of grammar, be connected with me. Till then, thanks to you.